Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm out today with the Canon M50 Mark II as usual, and I've put the Viltrox 23mm lens on, and just really want to talk about my usual gripe is that I don't feel that I live close enough to some really cool places for photography, and probably like a lot of us, sometimes you've got to make do with your area that you're in. So I'm just going for my normal walk from home towards the Milton Keynes city, and just going to see what sort of shots we can get. Now the good thing with this Viltrox is that it's actually, you can adjust the aperture with a ring on the actual lens itself. So here's the aperture ring on the lens itself. We've got the A, so when this is set on A, you just basically deal with the aperture on the back of the camera, but then you can adjust it manually on here, which is what we're going to do today. So let's get the thing set up. You can see I'm on f5.6 just here on the aperture ring, and on the back of the lens, on the back of the screen, we're 5.6, so it just adjusts itself. We're on manual. I've put the ISO on auto because this is a strange day. The sun keeps popping out now and again, but not very often, and it's a fairly dull day, so I'm just going to see what this does on auto. Get a couple of warm-up shots just to get a feel of what's going on. So yeah, the ISO has set itself to 100 there. We're a bit overexposed, so I can increase the shutter speed and just take a shot. Nothing special, just getting a feel of the light. So we've got a nice little scene here. So the ISO has gone to 250. We're on 500th of a second. Got a little bit of foreground with these reeds coming out the front here. The thing is, we've got no sun, so we can't be looking for shadows. So this actual weather is absolutely brilliant for portrait photography. You'll have no harsh shadows, etc. So this is ideal conditions, but I haven't got a model with me, so we won't worry. So let's see what else we can get. So we've got beautiful willow trees here. So I'm sort of getting the willow tree in the left hand third. We've got a bit of a gap, and the pond, I'm going to take that one. The sky is all grey, of course, so there's a few little blue patches in it, but not many. It's fairly grey today. So this lens, it opens up to 1.4, so a light, nice lens for portrait photography as well, or very low light. It's great to come out and not have to have a thick coat on. There's still a little chill in the air, mind you, but it's certainly warmer than it has been. See, now this tree, I just love old oak trees because they're just such beautiful shapes, and you just see what nature produces is so nice. So this is quite dark, so let's just open the aperture here. I can do it on the ring. Let's go to about there, which is 3.2, and just look at the shapes there. Let's just get the exposure right, so we're on 320th of a second. Just point it up a bit and just get those branches and shapes. Yeah, I like that. So I'll put the tree right in the centre of the frame, and it's good just to have a look around, really. Nice to see leaves and growth. Oh wow, look at that oak tree over there. There's another one. I'll see what sort of shot we can get there. Work my way round. And of course in this weather you haven't got lots of harsh shadows, etc. So you can approach this from either way really. Again, I'm just going to bring that up to 5.6, got a shutter of 1/200th of a second. That's nice. I'm just going to get a bit closer and see what else we can do. So I love that. So now we've got lots of buttercups down here, so let's see what we can do with the buttercup. Change the aperture, it's quite bright, but I'm going to get close in if I can. This is all handheld, so let's increase the shutter, focus on that buttercup. We've got the tree in the background. Okay, I need one that's facing us really. One should do. It's not too bad. You can see the tree in the right hand third. Let's try this one here. I'm going to put the buttercup in the bottom third. I just want to come around so I can see that tree, which should just blur out slightly. And this Viltrox lens, it's weighted really nice, you know. Again, it's not too big like most of the EF-M range of lenses, and just goes on there nicely. Right, I can see an old wooden gate, and I'm going to walk over towards that, see what we can do with an old wooden gate. But if you're watching this, Phil, this is nothing like your mountains in Wales. But I've got to make do with what I've got at the moment. Okay, what can we do with a gate? We can just take a photo of a gate. Not very exciting really, is it? Anyway, let's see what sort of close-ups we can get. So I'll open up to 1.4. We've got a chain on here. It won't let us get too close, so I'm going to put that in the bottom third. We've got some leaves coming in over on the top third. And then a latch. This is all artistic really, isn't it? More wildflowers here, so we'll have these wildflowers. Again, I'm focused on the bottom third of these. ISO 100, 2.8. I'm going to get a latch here. So I think for this one we'll come down to f-stop of 2. So now we can bring our shutter speed up, look how quick that is, and focus on the latch. Oh, look at this, they've even given us some steps down here, so we need to change the aperture here. So I'll put 5.6. that's given us ISO 400. Now here we've got a nice path that's leading round to the right, and if I just lower the shutter speed on 400th, that's brought us down to ISO 100. And in fact I can just take that up a bit. Perfect. So this is one of these leading lines that's just going round to the right. Now what you really want is some sort of subject that's leading to. So we'll just go round a bit further. Let's see what we can get. Always turn around because I'm going to see if we can get one going back. Yeah, I like this. So right in the background there, right at the back, I don't know if you can see it, we've got what's called the chain reaction. It's just another piece of Milton Keynes artwork, and we've got this. Now I'm not zooming in on it because I've got a 23mm, but this path leads nicely round the corner up to those steps, and then you've got the chain reaction artwork in the background. So I'm going to put the chain reaction artwork, let's just see the best one. I'm going to focus on that. That's it. So it's come out fairly dark because it's exposing for the sky, but you see, the thing is, that means I've got a nice sky, cloudy sky, and I can bring those dark bits up in Lightroom. So never worry about it too much, because you can bring the darks. It's much more difficult to, you know, bring those washed out areas back. So if anything, I sometimes underexpose just so that I've got those nice clouds. Okay, so we've got this lone tree here in the middle of the field, and I really like this, so I'm just framing it up. I'm on 5.6, the ISO is coming out at 125, we're on 6/40th of a second, so if I change that to 500th, there we go, 500th of a second, 5.6, and we've got ISO 100. We'll have the tree in the centre, and sometimes it's always difficult to know whether you should be trying to line that horizon up, because in the photo the horizon looks like it's sort of sloping away and that I'm holding the camera wrongly, but I've lined the tree up vertically. Now over here I've been attracted to this tree that's just going out with 4 trunks, and I'm just going to get closer because I'm not sure I need the whole tree, I just want the 4 trunks. So I'm just going to focus in on this one here. We're on 5.6. Let's just move a bit closer, and I'm going to open up the aperture. Look how easy this is. Just turn this round. Let's have 2. Yeah, we've got an aperture of 2, f2. We're just going to focus in on the bottom half of this. Just move around a bit so we can see all 4 trunks. Happy with that? Let's have a look. Yeah, so you don't have to take a picture of the whole tree. You know, if there's something that catches your eye, and I say this a lot in my videos, that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, you know, what's nice for one person isn't for another, but you're the photographer like I am here. It's up to me what I do. I'm not getting paid by a client to take a particular shot. I'm just taking what I feel is pleasing to my eye, and it may well be pleasing to other people's eye, and this is the fun of it. I'm just going to get one going back this way. We're going to get a bit more of the tree, so we're on f2. Yeah, let's just go a bit lower. So when you're of an age, it's difficult to crouch down too much, but I'm going to hold the camera down, flip the screen out, get a bit lower. So I probably want to just come up to f4. And what's that doing for us? So 250 ISO. Okay. I'm on 500th of a second, but I like a high shutter speed, and it helps me get the shot still, especially when I'm just leaning down like this. let's get a nice close-up. So this trunk's going diagonally across. I'm on, let's move that to f2.8, bring the shutter to 1/400th, maybe 320. That's okay. I'm going diagonally across. I'm just going to focus in on that cut off branch there, and I've put that in the third. I'm just moving the focus point to exactly where I want it, which is there. So to do that, you just press this button just here once, and then you can move your focus point using these. You can also do it just by touching the screen, but so let's, there we go, that's on the third. So we've got ISO 200, f2.8, so that should blur some of the background a bit, and then just give us a nice look at that particular cut-off trunk there. Again, these are more artistic type shots, which is one of the things with photography. Triangles and diagonals, they're great as leading lines, and we tend to use triangles a lot, sometimes without realizing, but triangles are a great way to compose your shot, and you can see triangles everywhere if you look carefully. Okay, so here's a shot here. We've got that piece of artwork. I can't remember what that one's called, that's just over there. Let's just show you on the camera. But what I want to do is use this path here as a leading line that goes round to that triangle pyramid looking thing. So let's have a go at this. So because we're using this as a leading line, I've got that in the bottom 2/3. I'm going to focus on the pyramid thing. I'll go and have a look what it's called in a minute. And we've got this path leading round to it. So there we're on f8, 250th of a second, and ISO 100, and the clouds seem to have come out quite well. I can always bring this path out a bit in Lightroom if we need to. Just go a little bit closer and see what else we can get. There's people in the shot, and I'm not really out on a people photography shoot today. Just got to catch your mood, hasn't it? So here we are. So we're going to have this path as a leading line coming in. Focus on the bottom of the pyramid. So we're on f8. We can probably bring that to 5.6 actually. It means I can bring my shutter up to 500th of a second. Line it all up. Keep it centered in this case. What you'll see there is triangles, not just the pyramid, but if you look at the grass, both sides leading up, they make triangles. Then we've got the path leading up to it as our leading line, and then of course the pyramid makes its triangle itself, pointing up into that nice moody sky that we've got. So you know, you can see triangles in lots of places. See, now we've got this little stage down in the other field, and if we can get the leading line right, we can lead that path through to the stage. You've just got to move around, just go forward a bit more. There we go. Yeah, what we'll do, we'll have that in the right hand third, and then we've got the path leading diagonally across. We're on 5.6, ISO 100, 640th of a second, which is ideal for me. And yeah, it's quite dark because it's exposed quite a lot for the light, but I can bring that out in Lightroom, and I've got those moody clouds in there, which is what I really wanted. You probably can see triangles in there. We're just coming up to what's known as the Milton Keynes Roads, and this particular shot I've taken before, and I've taken it with the fisheye lens, and it's absolutely brilliant. Well, I would say that, I took it, but I absolutely loved it with the fisheye because it's all sort of circular. I'm going to see what sort of shot we can get from here. Again, we've just got people in the shot. I've got this on ISO 125, 6/40th of a second and 5.6. We have got people in the shot and a lorry. I'm just going to take it, see what it comes out like while I wait. This is where the fisheye lens is really good. It's a manual lens and it's absolutely excellent for this sort of shot because you can really get a lot in. But I'll perhaps go to a different position, see if I can get this shot without people in it. Oh, they got fences in protecting one of the posts. They've obviously put a new post in. Go back a bit. I can't go back any further. There's a bush here, so oh, okay, we'll get that tree, little tiny tree on the left hand side as a bit of a frame. That sort of gives you the city line in the background, some nice moody clouds. That tree on the left just coming into the frame as a bit of a frame. Pity I couldn't go back a bit more because there's another tree just to the other side, but I can't go back any further. So I'm just going to come around a bit more and see if I can get it from another angle. Maybe here. We're going to have a tree on the right hand side. We've got the city line on 125, ISO 125, 5.6 and 6/140th of a second. If I change that to say 500th of a second, there we go, we've got an ISO 100 now. There we go. Let's have a look at that. Pretty happy with that. Okay, so we've got these steps going down here with some nice red fences either side. So I'm just going to lower the shutter speed. What ISO are we on? So we're on ISO 250 f4.5. Just coming on one of them. So I've got the fence going diagonally across the screen. I've got that little pink sort of wild rose there. Let's just put this to 1.4 so we can get everything else blurred out. So that neatly brings us to the end of that video. If you liked that video, please give me the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next video.